everyone! So, welcome to the Carrie Diaries. So, as you guys can tell by the title, this is a little bit of a different video. I wanted to kind of start talking about topics in my life, about things that I'm going through. And Tess actually helped me with the idea to name it Carrie Diaries and kind of make it a little bit of a series of just these sit-down videos of me talking to you guys as kind of an open forum. Obviously you guys aren't talking back to me, but I really want your guys' feedback and stuff. Any advice on the stuff that I talk about, comment down below, talk with each other, talk back to me. I really kind of want to make this an open forum about these common topics that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to kind of break down the series into different things that happen to be affecting me in my life currently, but I'm sure so many of you out there that are watching are going through them too. But throughout the series I want to talk about different things like body image, self-confidence, you know, other things with money, school, living in New York, things like that, that are all just parts of my life that I've either really struggled with, I'm still struggling with, and I kind of want to be an open book with you guys in that sense. And honestly, this is more of a I want your advice. I am not finished going through these journeys and all this stuff. I'm still actively going through all of this, which is why I really want to talk to you guys about it. Half of this is going to be a venting situation for me. Just talking about it more and more with people, whether you guys are here or not physically, helps me. So it's kind of a vent session and an open forum. So today's video is going to be talking about getting a job after college and kind of affording rent, paying for rent, becoming an adult for real, as far as money and as far as getting a job and that kind of stuff. So yeah, welcome to the Carrie Diaries. So let's just dive right into the first topic. I wrote some stuff down. I'm gonna kind of just tell my story with what's happened with me post-graduation, and then I do have a few tips for you guys if you're going through the same thing, things that have helped me, little tips and advice that's helped me, but I would also love to hear your guys' advice because I'm not through this hump. I'm still in this struggle of post-graduation figuring out my life type of thing. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I've talked about it a lot in my vlogs because before I got really crazy busy with work and stuff, I was able to vlog a lot more. So I kind of explained my struggles of getting a job just initially through those, but I will kind of give you a little synopsis of what's happened. So basically I graduated in May from FIT, and I didn't have a job when I graduated. I didn't have anything lined up in the fashion industry or in any other industry. I had been searching, and I started my search for a job around early February of my second semester, spring semester of 2015, and I started looking around February, and I was avidly looking. I wasn't even going for fashion things. I knew that I wasn't going to get my dream fashion job right away. I hadn't done any internships, and so I just kind of wanted to get my feet wet and starting to save money. And you know, obviously New York is really expensive, rent is really expensive, everything else adds up a lot, so I really wanted to get a job that was going to get me a lot of money. So I was looking in the restaurant industry to get serving jobs, just because I know those pay cash, you know, with tips really fast, and in New York especially, that stuff adds up. And so my plan was to get a serving job like that, start working right away, save up for when I got my apartment in the summer, and then all the while still looking for a fashion job that was going to be more permanent, more full-time, possibly more salary-based. So I did that, and I had one job that I got, and then it totally didn't work out. I literally had it for a day, and they ended up wanting different hours that I couldn't work, and that didn't work out, which really sucked. And I continued looking and looking and looking. From February, I didn't even get another job until July. So from February, March, April, May, June, like 5 months essentially, I was jobless. And I lived in the dorms until May, and then, as you guys know, I lived with Tess and Patrick for about a month and a half, and they were literally my saviors. Like, I don't know what I would have done without them. Yeah, so I didn't even find a job until like July, early July, and I found another serving job, and I am still at the place, but I actually got the job as a server, and then I don't know if this was all just part of my big plan or whatever, but I actually got kind of, not demoted, but they said that the serving position was no longer available, like my 4th day of training. So this is now the second job that I thought I had. I thought I was going to start making money, and then it didn't work out. They ended up still offering me a hostessing job, which was less money obviously, but kind of more hours kind of worked out. So I was working there for a while, and I'm still there once a week, and I love the restaurant. It's all good. Like, it wasn't like a bitter situation. It just was like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Right around the time that I actually found out that I wasn't going to be able to serve anymore, I got another call from another job that was kind of in the fashion industry, and it was with a menswear line, and I talked to you guys about that a while ago as well. That came up, and so I was kind of really excited. I had 2 jobs. I was getting decent hours at the hostessing job, and then this all new thing with the menswear came up, and that whole job was a little bit of a weird situation because it was all commission based, and if any of you guys work commission based jobs, obviously you work on commission, and a lot of it was basically you had to kind of fight for your money. And I know you have to work really hard anyways at any job you get to earn your money, but I had to like really work hard just to get appointments, just to get money, and nothing was like a sure deal. It's not like you go to work, you work these hours, and you get paid your hourly rate. Like, it wasn't like that. And I wasn't getting a lot of money from the other job, and so I was really banking on this being very successful for me, and I just didn't have luck with it. I'm no longer working there because I just found like I couldn't make ends meet financially. It just wasn't something that was stable enough for me to feel comfortable, and I just wasn't making money from it. So now we have 2 jobs, and one of them didn't work out, and the other one kind of didn't work out, and yeah, so I was just kind of all over the place. Meanwhile, I was having kind of another 3rd job, which I still have, which is nannying. For any graduate, any like students that are in college or post-grad, like, I know that's kind of dumb, but babysitting can be a great way to make some extra money. Honestly, that is something that I fall back on as a chunk of like my budgeting every single month, and it's really helpful. And it's cash, and it's really easy, and I mean, I was just really lucky with the family that I work with. They're amazing. So that is another thing that I was doing, and between July to now, I had like the 3 jobs until I got Loft. Loft was another thing that I really actually regret not going to sooner. If you're following me for a long time, you knew back in high school, or right out of high school, I worked at the Loft back home in my hometown at the mall, and I was there for a little bit over a year. My old boss though from that Loft, I was talking to her just about like everything with how difficult it had been for me to kind of find a job that was stable and giving me enough money, because at this point it's like I felt like I couldn't nail down a job that was paying me enough for me to pay rent and pay for groceries and pay for, you know, electric and stuff like that. Like, all my bills were still adding up, and I didn't have a job that was stable enough or giving me enough, you know, hours, because every single month around the time that rent would take out, I would have literal panic attacks, like I don't have enough money, and it's one of the most scary feelings. I talked to my old manager, and she actually reached out to one of the like district managers in New York, and long story short, I got an interview with the Loft that I'm working at now, and I met with the store manager, and I was hired, and I was so excited, and the pay was great, and I was going to be getting hours, and so I am now working there. But you guys know I still babysit once a week, and I still work at my restaurant once a week, just to kind of mix things up, but also allocate those wages to certain things. So I want to kind of get into that. So I'm not saying that everyone should go and get 3 jobs. In my sense, or in my case, unless you get a really great first job that's like salary paid and you have like, it's like an amazing first job and you're getting paid a lot of money. I've noticed in almost everyone that I've met in New York at all of these other jobs and just friends and people that I've talked to, unless you're so lucky and have an, you know, a really great job, most people are working 2 to 3 jobs. I mean, every single person that I met at the restaurant all have other jobs. Even at Loft, there's people who have a whole bunch of other jobs on the side. It's just the way it is. It's really hard to get a really good job here. I mean, right away. I think it's something that you can work towards, you know what I mean? I think it's something that takes time. My whole thing is I've realized that it isn't something that's going to happen overnight, and it's not something that's going to happen right out of college. Even if you are college grad, like, there's entry-level jobs for a reason, you know? You have to kind of work your way up. And I was just, I think, naive to think that I was going to get like a great salary-based job and I was going to be making like $70,000 a year and like be aces, and it's just not like that. So my whole thing is, you know, yes, I'm working a lot, but each job I look at as something like how I'm going to budget it. So basically at the restaurant, I work there typically like 5 to 6 hours a week because I just work one day and the shift is like up to 6 hours. So the money I make there, I add up per the week, per month, and all of that adds up to my Metro card. So every single month I have to pay for a monthly Metro card for the subway, and I mean, I don't have to, but it's a discounted rate as compared to what I would be paying if I just kept adding money each time, and it actually does benefit you a lot, but it's still pretty expensive. So the stuff I make at my restaurant, I pay for my Metro card, and then the babysitting money, which is all in cash, and that happens during the week as well, or once a week as well, I use for grocery monies because I'm going to buy groceries more often. So I do that for, whereas like the Metro card I buy once a month. So I use that money for my groceries every single week. And then everything else that I make at Loft, I use for my rent and electric bill. So that's kind of how I compartmentalize everything. I have each job for each like thing, expense in my life. So I guess that's going to go into like tip number 1 is, whether you have 1 job, 2, 3, 4, or 5 jobs, make sure that you're budgeting like where things are going to what expense in your life. I just think it really helps you in as far as like knowing like where things are going. You just don't want to get like mumbo jumbo and think like, oh, like I'm gonna make enough at Loft, so that's gonna be enough for rent and then like my groceries on like the 2nd week in October. Like that's just so confusing for me. So I allocate things to be with specific like expenses. I guess backtracking a little bit, something that I did, but I wish I was really more, I wish I did more, was going to my career services at FIT. I only went there once or twice, and it wasn't like super helpful, but I wish I went more and had like maybe weekly meetings or like bi-monthly meetings or whatever, to kind of really work on like getting internships and getting my resume fixed sooner and all that kind of stuff. Like I wish I kind of started that at the very beginning of my 2nd semester, whereas I did not start it until probably a month before graduation. So that was a mistake on my end, but this is all like a learning process. And yeah, I think that's a big tip, you know, go to the career services at your college. That's what they're there for. That's literally why they're there, and that's what they're getting paid for, is to help you with exactly that. The 3rd tip I have, which is so dumb because I am so bad I don't follow it, is just to try not to stress. My dad always tells me like, don't stress about the things that you can't fix, and work hard for the things that you can fix. So the fact that I have rent every single month, I can't fix that. Like I have that amount of rent. I have to have a place to live, and that's what I'm paying. Like it's not gonna go down, but it's also not gonna go up. So I need to not worry about those things that I can't change. However, working hard at my job and trying to be the best employee at all 3 jobs that I have is something I can work on, and to ensure that I keep those jobs and, you know, possibly further my time further my time at those places. So that is definitely another tip that I have. Another big thing has been the support of my family and friends, and I mean, I sit here and like talk about how lucky I am, but like I just don't even think that that's enough. Like, I have the best family and the best friends that support me and have been so helpful in all of this. I literally talk to my parents every single day, and they have been such a help and kind of voice of reason in all of this. Like, I'm an emotional person, but like I literally have cried every single day for like 4 months straight. Like, and I'm not even exaggerating. You can ask Julia. She probably overhears me in my room crying, because it's just hard. It's really stressful and it's a lot to go through, and I know that I'm not alone, which brings me into my other tip, is to kind of turn it around and like count your blessings. Like, I know I'm not alone in this. I know everyone else goes through this at some point or another, and that is kind of comforting to know that you're not. There's drag racing going on in my neighborhood, I'm pretty sure. Does help a little bit, is to know that you're not alone in that. So if you're like watching this and you're feeling how I'm feeling, just know I am so here with you. I do not have everything figured out. I am still, right now to this minute, not like 100% with everything. I'm still, you know, worried about money, and I still don't have like a super stable financial situation, and I am not like fully figured this out. I really just wanted to kind of come here and talk about my story and the little tips that I do have, and you know, I want to make this like an open forum. I said that already like 50 times, but it's not just me to tell. I'm not just here to like for you guys to like know my life and talk all about me. Like, I want your advice. Anything else that you guys have gone through that's similar to this, that you've done and you've got through it, like, please let me know what you've done, because I am so still all in this right now, and I really just feel like the internet and like our generation has been really great about communicating with it. I just feel like we're really great with communicating via social media, and I feel like YouTube is a great way to have a platform to talk about stuff like this. I just think we're really like lucky to have this in our generation right now, whereas 50 years ago they did not have something like this that would, you know, help people. So any other tips that you have, if you guys want to talk to each other or whatever, that's really cool too. But I think that's it. And also, really please let me know in the comments below if there's any other topics specifically you want me to talk about in the Carrie Diaries. And yeah, we can just kind of have this be a really cool learning experience where we all get together and talk and help each other out, because I think that's really awesome. So I think my last tip, I'm going to reiterate something, is just know you're not alone. I am so going through this too, and I don't have this figured out. Like, when I do, I'm sure I will let you know, but we are all learning, and we are all a process and a journey, and we have nowhere near gotten finished. That is it. So I will see you guys in my next video very soon. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye!